sometimes there are those dog whistle things that people say to us that get such a rise out of us, and yet they are benign on the surface. When someone else is looking at them, they seem so innocuous. So when we tell our own story, we are able to expand into the context of the sensations, the feelings, the emotions, and everything that went with the situation. And my friends, if you cannot be truly honest about your story, don't tell it. Shush, it's fine. It's not yet time. You're going to distill it and then you can tell. And also, if you cannot share the lesson in the story rather than imparting the pain in the story, then it's not yet time. Deal with your story, deal with the emotions with it, deal with what actually, could be harmful to somebody else when you tell that story first, and then impart the story. And then extremely importantly, examine your motives for giving that advice or for offering that constructive criticism. Really look at are you trying to illustrate how superior you are? Are you trying to fulfill something within your own self that may be independent of the person you're giving the advice to? Your motives will go a long way, because sometimes silence offered in love is so much better than good advice or good constructive criticism offered with a bad motive. And here's a golden rule. Let people ask you for advice. Let them ask. Let a person ask you for advice, because that question of asking for advice frames a teachable moment, frames a time where they are ready to receive it. And when people have told you their story and they've shared with you their deepest, darkest, meaningful something story that they're telling you, thank you. Thank them for sharing. Thank them for allowing you into that space of themselves sufficiently to share such depth with them. I have so thoroughly enjoyed this. We all have a lot of related experiences. We all have a lot of experiences that are common to other people. And at the face of it, they may seem exactly similar. But guys, there are nuances. It is tempting to give advice or criticize others. But most of the criticisms, most of the advice, it comes from our own lived experiences. The first rule of living an abundant, fulfilled life is to first do no harm. While it's tempting to want others to subscribe to what we believe in and act in the way that we would, the truth is we don't grow, learn, or advance in life by being in the same company of the same people who believe what we do, who live like we do, who think like we do, who eat like we do, and really just are copies of ourselves. The truest test of courage is in being able to let our others be themselves around us while we do the same, and yet not judge them and not make them feel like less than just because they are different. Different does not mean inferior, or it doesn't even mean superior. Allowing others to be fully themselves while we are also fully ourselves is a good way of growing together. It's fun to reminisce with a friend, but it's really unfair to use a friend's time of need and crisis to tell your story and go nostalgic and reminisce about, hey, kumbula of your own stories. No, that's not the time for that. In those times, being a good friend means just for that moment, we hold true, non-judgmental, clean space for them to explore their feelings, their thoughts, their next steps, and be a sounding board while that friend works out their next steps. The best advice any one of us has ever had, be honest guys, was actually self-provided. When you were sitting and you were coming to conclusions of things you've heard, experiences you've seen, all of that, and you advised yourself. We all really need a little bit of space to work it out. Be that friend. Be that friend that your friends can go to for